Now I'm going to be making a storage unit for my homemade spritzes, and I want them stored at a slight angle, not straight. And the reason why I want them at an angle is so that that tube inside stays wet. I don't want it to dry out. So if I store it at an angle, then that will keep it moist in there. And it will also help to keep the fine little mica things from getting up inside the tube and clogging everything. I'm going to make this the same width as I did my ink pad storage. But in making that, I learned a few things. So I've made myself a jig of sorts. I have measured 1.5 inches in, and then I have a 1/4 inch gap, and then from here I measured 1.5 inches to make the next groove. So the one that I made, the reason why I had so much trouble with the one I made for the ink pad is I just went 1 inch. And I cut everything kind of wonky and whatever. But so this is going to be the back piece, and it is only going to be 15 inches tall to fit underneath my punches. So I'm going to make it 12.5 like I did the other one. And then I'm going to make, I think I'll make this, I think I'll do the 15 inches first. Okay. All right, now 12.5. Alright, now since this is the back, and with the other one, I'm going to be able to get 2 of these spritz bottles in between each 4 inch. So that was 4 1/4 and 8.5. On my stamp pad thing. So this is going to be the back piece, and I have made my lines. This is where the shelves are going to, the supports are going to go, just like I did for the ink pad storage. For my bottles, excuse me, all of my bottles are the same size. I do have 2 that are wide and narrow. The bottle itself is 5 inches tall, but I don't want to make the shelves that deep. I want to make them 3 inches, and that way when I go to grab the bottle out, then I can grab it by the neck. Some of my caps are a little loose, so if I were to grab it by the cap, I might only get the cap out and not the whole thing. So I want to grab by the neck. So my shelves are going to be 3 inches deep. This scrap piece that I cut off is 3.5 inches wide, so I'm going to use that as one of these supports. And this other scrap piece that I have, I am going to make it 3.5 by 15. All right, now just this, I got to come in 1.5 inches. And at 1.5 inches, this is where I want to make my, I want to use this crocodile to punch the holes. For the back part. All right, so this then I'm going to line my jig up with my pencil line. You can see the line between the, okay, but I'm going to move it down about 1/2 inch from the top. That's not quite a half, but all right, how will that be? That'll be enough. I think that'll be enough of an angle. All right, now I'm going to move this over to the line, have my and I'm going to go in here and draw where I have these things, these cutouts. Okay. And where I've made these marks, that is where I'm going to punch the hole with a crocodile. Now to get this top part, I'm just going inside these little slices I made and marking out the notches. Just like that. Let's see, can you, there's the notch there. Now I'm going to intersect these lines . And then there is the angle that I'm going to have. All right, so now I'm going to cut, now I'm going to punch the hole. I'm going to punch the hole up there like that in all of these sections, and then I'm going to cut these pieces out. Three-eighths. I only went down 3/8. So did I do the same here? Alright, I only needed to go up just a tiny bit. Alright. Okay, and then once again, and then straight up. Is that what I did there? Yes. Okay. So lining up there on the top and the sides. Now I'll make my marks once again, and then I will draw the lines, punch the holes, and then I will cut these pieces out. Alright, now that I've got my holes punched, I'm going to follow the pencil line that I made. To cut this out. Whoops. Okay, and there is the beginning of my shelf support. So I'm just going to cut all of these out now. Okay, now I'm going to use this metal tape. This is purchased from your hardware store, and this is not the duct tape. This is something that the AC guys use that go around your furnace ducts. This is a metal tape, and it will cut you if you're not careful. So now I'm going to cut 4 pieces. Oh, right here. Okay. Now I'm only going to peel back half of this paper. I'm only exposing half of the adhesive on the tape. Alright, and then I'm going to take one of my pieces and get the tape Okay, put that on. Now I'm not taking this off. I'm going to leave this on. And this side I'm going to burnish down with my bone folder. Make sure that it sticks well. And then I'm going to get another piece of this and do the same thing, only remove half of the backing. Right. Now then this one's going to go on this side. Press that on. And burnish this down. Alright, now I have the foam core. Yeah. The foam core is sandwiched between the tape. And I'm going to line this up in the center of this mark I made. And up at the top, I want to make sure that I have this lined up pretty good. Now I'm going to remove that paper and I'm going to press this tape down. And use my bone folder. Now if you press too hard in here in the corner, you can tear this metal tape. And I have poked holes in as I've gone along, so I'm just trying to be, I'm pressing firmly on the bottom part, but I'm trying to be kind of careful while I press on the inside. Alright, now I'm going to take this side off. And I'm going to do the same thing. Press it in kind of close there, and then bring this down. Burnish that on good. Alright, now this shelf support is very sturdy and it's not going to flop around on me. Alright, now I need to do the exact same thing to this one. Okay. So now this is done. This part is done. Now what I need to do is create shelves that are going to go in there. I've got my shelf pieces cut at 3.5 inches deep by 12.5 inches long. And I need to go, I need to make a mark 1.5 inches in. Okay, 4.25. So I'm going to 1/8 inch on each side. Okay, and then at 8.5. So 1/8 inch on each side of the 8.5. Like that. And that's the 1/4 of an inch, and then I'll just draw my lines down. So I have my 2 reference points like that, and then I will use my crocodile to cut those holes, and then I'm gonna use my craft knife and cut these out. And I'm going to do that to these 5. All right, it's time to do some test fitting. Make sure that I haven't made a big mistake. Okay. Oh, that went in a whole lot easier than they did yesterday. So you just take your grooves, your notches, and you put it inside and push it down. Okay, well, this guy doesn't want to go in. Okay, I have 2 of these upside down. They were extending over the side there, so I have to turn them around so that now they're flush on each side. Okay, now when this stands up, then I can put my sprays inside of there. Now I'm going to put these sides on first before I make the top and bottom, so I don't have any trouble like I did yesterday on my stamp pad things with the lids the top and bottom not coming out right and having that gap. Okay. Now, set this on that exposed tape. And then burnish that down. Alright, now take that off, and I'm going to put one of the side pieces on. I'm just lifting the tape up. And pressing it on there. Well, to stay in, but that's all right. Oops. Oh. Okay. All right. Now I need to put this side on. Well, man, this stuff is sticky. Okay. Get on there. Just like that. All right, now I want to make sure that these edges meet and don't get all bad like they were yesterday in my stamp pad storage thing. So, all right. That burnished on. Make sure I get my sides lined up so that they join properly. Alrighty. Now that went pretty quickly. Okay, so there's the box for my shimmer paint stuff.